from Ackah Business Immigration Law. I hope you're well. I'm excited today to be doing a LinkedIn Live focusing on the US TN visa category. Do you qualify for US TN visa? Have you heard about this category, this treaty NAFTA visa? It is a really wonderful program for professionals who want to do work in the United States. And so I'm going to talk about it. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at the number and email below, and we can have a preliminary discussion. The TN visa was a category that arose with the NAFTA, the old NAFTA, which is now called the USMCA, the US Mexico Canada Free Trade Agreement. When we refer to the Canadian side, we usually call it the CUSMA, the CUMSA. CUSMSA, whatever that is. And that is the coming into Canada. So today, I want to focus on US bound professionals. I've been doing this cross-border immigration work for 23 years, and the TN visa is one of the best programs for people that have a degree. Usually it's somebody that has a 4-year degree, and their profession is listed on the NAFTA list of professionals. So let's say you have a brand new hire and they're an engineer, and you want them to be able to go do work for a client in the United States or to work for a related entity in the United States. This is perfect because they will not qualify for an intercompany transfer because they don't have the 1 year of experience with the Canadian company. However, they have a degree and they're listed on the professional designations list. And so that means that they're able to qualify for TN. So because they have a degree in engineering, which is one of the almost 70 professions listed under the TN category for the US, they may be eligible to apply for and get a work permit. So the way we do it is we need to ensure they have a job opportunity, even if it's temporary in the United States, that we're able to get a letter confirming that, or we usually produce it here at Ackah Law. We draft the letter. And we also draft a legal letter where we outline why this professional qualifies for the TN visa category as a professional. And they also must have their original degree and ideally a transcript as well that further shows that they have made the qualifications for this category. Really important to be able to have that. And then we prepare a whole package. We also at Ackah Law prepare our clients because it's always stressful going before US CBP at the airport. And we think it's important that you're able to feel comfortable and to be able to know what to expect at the airport, and also know that we're on call if you need anything to assist you with the process. So I can call or text as needed to ensure that things go smoothly. So the TN visa category is great because you don't have to have the 1 year of experience working for the related entity, and you're able to do it right at the port of entry at the airport, preferably. And usually within an hour or two, you leave and you go and board your plane and you have your TN visa to work. So some of the professions listed under the TN category are, as I said, engineer, lawyer, teacher, scientific technician, technologist, management consultant, which I will talk about in great detail shortly, many geologists, biologists, geophysicists, all of those different categories, veterinarian. The list is long, and you can easily find it if you Google TN visa professional categories. There's been very few additions to the list over the last 30 years or so. Every now and then they might add or tweak it a little, but for the most part, the list has been consistent. And the one downside with the TN visa professional category is that it does not really reflect our current gig economy. It doesn't reflect a lot of new professions that have come into existence in the many years since NAFTA. So it is very old school. And for people who don't fit that category perfectly, it may not be available to them, unfortunately. But if you are on that list and you have a job offer in the United States to work in your profession or related to your profession, we're able to get you a TN visa for up to 3 years. I actually have a school friend from law school who's one of my closest friends, and she works in the States. And because she works for a government legal entity, they are not able to sponsor her for green card. It's just a policy. But she's been working in the States for more than 20 years, and she's had a TN visa, which we renew and update every 3 years. So she can live in the States and continue working and doing the work she loves, but knowing that she's legal and she's doing everything correctly. So the TN is great because it is renewable. There is no end date. Generally speaking, it's every 3 years. You still have to qualify. You still have to show them everything is updated. You still have to make sure you have an employer and all the paperwork is in line. But so long as that's the case, you can be in the United States on a TN visa indefinitely, so long as you're working. One of the categories that I always say is the most misused category is the TN management consultant category. This one is very much a category that is under a lot of scrutiny by CBP, Customs and Border Protection, at the airports and the border, because everybody tries to fit into it. If you don't have a 4-year degree that aligns, like computer systems analyst, which is one of them, or a 2-year diploma technician diploma, or a lawyer's degree, a law degree, if you don't have one of those that fits perfectly, will try to fit themselves into the management consultant category. So for instance, you have a communications degree and you're working in PR, but there is no communications professional listed under NAFTA. So what can you do? And one of the options is, if you're able to get a consulting engagement as a management consultant in communications, let's say, I can help you for the most part get a TN visa to do that consulting for the US client. And one thing I really want to stress is that there's a difference between being an employee under the traditional list of 70 professions under the NAFTA TN list versus a consultant. As a consultant, you're not an employee. You are there to be a consultant to the management, to the executive, to leadership, and to provide your expertise and to invoice for your time, whether it's hourly or daily or weekly. And you're not there to necessarily implement and do all the hands-on stuff. Consultants are there to advise, review, strategize, and help management to run their operations better or bring that skill set that you have to benefit the organization. So many people, I always say people from dancers to basket weavers, have tried to fit themselves into the TN category, and they're unsuccessful because you have to be careful. You have to meet all the criteria. So the consultant one is one that I highly, highly recommend. You don't try to do that by yourself. When you get a refusal with US immigration, it is so much harder to correct it when you come to me to fix it. So I always believe that if you can do it right the first time, get it done by a professional, whoever it is, a lawyer that understands cross-border immigration and understands what CBP is expecting when you get there. So what we do is, for the TN, we make sure you have a consulting agreement that's going to meet immigration's needs. Then we prepare a letter on behalf of your US client for their review, confirming the engagement and the expertise and how you will be working with them and invoicing them. Then we prepare a legal letter where we outline all the reasons why you as a consultant qualify based on education, experience, etc. The consulting category is another one of, it's a few categories where you don't need a 4-year degree. So if you have 5 years or more work experience, you can get reference letters as well to bulk up your application, and you may qualify as a consultant even if you don't have a 4-year degree. So this is why people who don't fit the list of 66 or 70 professions always try to go with the consultant, but you must ensure it's perfect. It's perfect. And the other thing with US immigration is they want everything in original. So we literally tell our clients, take your degree off the wall, and that first time you make the application, you bring it. All the letters, the consulting agreement have to be an original. So there's some real specific criteria to ensure success. And once you're successful, even if it's not guaranteed for the next 3 years, it definitely means you've got a history of success entering the US to do legitimate work as a professional or as a management consultant. So I really hope that this has tweaked some interest for those of you who are looking south, who are considering working for clients or directly employed with a US entity. Give us a call at Ackah Law. We'd love to help to see if we can help you get that TN visa to focus on what you do best in the United States. And the other thing I want to say is that It's harder for us to fix a problem. So if you'd like to even just do a consultation, we can discuss the criteria and make sure you qualify before you try to go forward. At Ackah Law, we also provide support when you travel. So right now I have clients that are traveling as consultants, and we help prepare you. We ensure you fully know what to expect at the airport and that you are successful so that you can start your career in the United States. One last point I'd like to make is that for consultants, a lot of times we get people who are coaches, executive coaches, leadership coaches, who are trainers. Um, and there's no category for that. So we also can help you to prepare the material in such a way that you fit into the consultant category. Many speakers, lecturers, people who may not fit perfectly into a category, we've been able to get through as consultants because we're able to clarify what they're doing and how it best serves the organization they're there to work with. I hope this has been helpful. We look forward to helping you. Give us a call if you're interested in working in the United States under a TN visa. Take care. Bye bye.